Yo, what's going on, Niner fans? We have a busy day. Well, not the Niners, but the NFL has a busy day. The Niners are cooking with the stove off, is what I heard. I heard this morning, I got a call from John Lynch, and he told me, he says, hey, I didn't know it was daylight savings time. His clock was all messed up, and he's behind. And then he went to go cook. He went to the kitchen to go cook, but he didn't turn the stove on, guys. John Lynch is cooking with the stove off. What the heck are we doing, man? What are we doing? I knew we were going to lose players, but they're not signing anybody. I mean, they signed a tight end that can block for $20 million, and they got a third-string running back. I know it's day one of free agency, but, I mean, look at the rest of the league. Loading up. The Commanders, man, they are going at it. Big-time moves. I mean, obviously, the 49ers don't have a lot to spend, but, man, they are really, really hit with the cap, and that's the worry. You know, we were going into free agency, and we were worried about the cap, and it's really hitting them, and they got to pay a quarterback real money this year, and that's really, really hitting them hard. So let's talk about it, shall we? It's only Monday. This is only Monday. Legal tampering period. They can tamper legally today and agree to contracts, and then Wednesday they can officially sign it. The team could officially announce it, all that good stuff. So let's talk about it. People got some bags, man. There's a lot of players that were linked to the 49ers. Not a damn one of them signed with the 49ers. Dahlman, he went to the Bears. I knew he wasn't going to sell the Niners. He was linked heavily to the Bears. DJ Reed, you know, a lot of players were linked to the Niners, of course, because everybody, that's a content crew. Oh, Niners should get him. Why should get him? They should get him. They ain't getting anybody. They didn't get any of those yet. So let's talk about it. Started the morning with some rumors about Dre Greenlaw. He still hasn't signed. There's several teams that are looking at him. Titans, Cowboys, the Texans. Who else is looking into Dre Greenlaw? The Broncos, the Texans, the Falcons. There's a lot of teams that are looking into Dre Greenlaw. He's the top linebacker in the market right now after several players have signed. So we'll see. I mean, the Niners definitely want to bring back Dre Greenlaw, but he's testing the market. Darius Slayton just signed a 3-year deal. Oh, my God. He's off the market. So Dre Greenlaw definitely testing that market. He wants to, you know, get paid. And he's got a lot of people that are looking into him. So if the 49ers can't compete with his market, he's definitely gone. So that's big news right there. But we'll monitor it. Hasn't officially signed anywhere, but he's getting a lot of interest. Another guy that's been linked to the 49ers, Jonathan Allen, defensive lineman. He's a free agent. They released him from the Commanders. He is now visiting the Vikings this morning. They said, according to Tom Pelissero, that's a guy that the 49ers were supposed to, check in with or target in free agency. And unfortunately, right now, he's meeting with the Vikings today. So we'll see if anything materializes. So that's that. And then as far as the 49ers, boom, just a lot of players losing money, or the 49ers are losing a lot of players to big money contracts. The first one was the Chiefs taking Jalen Moore to a $30 million deal, 2 years. It's a lot of money. 2 years, $30 million. He's going to get $21.24 million guaranteed at signing. Now, a lot of people are saying, holy overpay. The Chiefs needed a tackle. And you know what? Jalen Moore proved he could step in and play tackle really well last year. He stepped in for Trent Williams. And with the 49ers, they were probably going to pay him a fraction of that. Yesterday, it was reported that Jalen Moore is getting a lot of attention on the market, probably going to get a good contract in the mid-teens, and that's exactly what he got, $15 million a year. And the thing is, he proved he could be a starter. In the 49ers, he would be a bench player, a backup player. He would be a backup and get paid maybe $7. And, they kept Colton McKivitz. They paid him last year at, $8 million? I guess it's a value if you look at it with the market, but I don't know. I think Jalen Moore is better than Colton McKivitz. He proved it last year. So you lose a pretty good backup tackle who could be your swing tackle, who honestly probably could have started at right tackle, but now he's going to go start at left tackle for the Chiefs. And the Chiefs, man, they're going to make this guy look good. Unbelievable. And he got a lot of money. So shout out to Jalen Moore, $30 million, 2 years. He was a backup player, and now he becomes a starter with the Chiefs. So shout out to him. We're going to keep the theme to the Chiefs. The Kansas City 49ers, we should call them, right? They signed running back Elijah Mitchell to a contract worth up to $3.5 million. Now, it's funny because Elijah Mitchell, he can't stay healthy, but the Chiefs, he might go there and become a pretty solid player. If he becomes a solid player and he stays healthy, I'm going to be sick to my stomach next year. But yeah, shout out to Elijah Mitchell. He wasn't coming back with the 49ers. The Niners have Isaac Guerendo, Christian McCaffrey, maybe Jordan Mason, maybe not. They signed Patrick Taylor today. So Elijah Mitchell goes to the Chiefs for $3 million. The Chiefs took an offensive lineman and a running back from us. So I get it. Makes sense. He's got to go get money. Niners were never going to pay him $3 million. So a couple more that happened today. Obviously, the big one. This is the big one of the day. Talanoa Hufanga went to the Broncos. He got paid a lot. 3 years worth $45 million, including $20 million guaranteed at signing. $20 million guaranteed, 3 years, 45. That's $15 million a year. Niners were never paying Talanoa Hufanga $15 million a year. That's a lot of money. Great player, but there's no way the Niners are paying him that much. I'm going to miss Talanoa Hufanga. I know a lot of people are, he's washed, he's this, he's that. Denver's had a great defense. Cortland Sutton, DJ Jones, and everybody else they have. Plus now you had Hufanga. That's a big-time defense. Man, Denver's going to be sick on defense out there. So it's a big dog for Denver. And I know he was hurt last year. I think he's going to be motivated to go out there and really prove himself. I'm going to miss Hufanga. Shout out to Big Huff. Definitely a great player. When he was all-pro, when he was healthy that second year before that injury last year or the year before, the guy was amazing. I mean, amazing. You remember in Green Bay, the block punt, he picks it up, scoops it, touchdown. He had the pick six against Matt Stafford. I mean, just so much. Sahaj says, what's going on? We're not doing anything. We don't have any money, my guy. We don't have any money. Where we? Want me to pull the money out of my asshole? It's not happening. We don't have money, unfortunately. And, they got to sign Brock. But Talanoa Hufanga goes to the Denver Broncos. Now, another big contract was Aaron Banks. The 49ers lose another offensive lineman. Now, if you remember, a couple weeks ago, they signed Ben Barch, who's probably going to be your starter at guard. Now, everybody was hyping up Ben Barch, a couple weeks ago. I was like, I don't know, everybody's hyping him up. I get it. He's a good player. He's never stayed healthy on the 49ers. But now all your chips are on Ben Barch if you don't go get a premium guard. They're not getting any guards in the draft or in free agency. And is there a good enough guard that you draft that's going to come right in and start? So Ben Barch is probably going to be your starter. Can he stay healthy is the big issue. He's a good player, but can he stay healthy? Your depth at guard is kind of lacking now, especially this was a move you had to do is fix the O-line. Look at the Bears, man. The Bears threw all their money at offensive line this year. Smart. Ben Johnson, heck of a coach. He's coming in and doing what he has to do. Build the trenches, protect your quarterback, your young quarterback. And the 49ers lose Aaron Banks. This deal, he got paid 4 years, $77 million. That's a lot of money. Like, shout out to Aaron Banks. $77 million for 4 years to play on the Packers. Green Bay got a big-time contract out of him. Now, this is like McGlinchey. When the Denver Broncos paid him so much money, is he worth that? Probably not. But that's the value, the market value of an offensive lineman, a guard on the market. That's premium dollars, man. That's a lot of money. God, that's big time. But was Aaron Banks worth that much? No. He's been okay, but he hasn't lived up to a second-round pick status. But there's not a lot of big depth on the market, so you pay. And the 49ers, they didn't want to pay that much money to their guards, and that's exactly what happened. They lose another big guard, a depth piece. And again, Aaron Banks, is he replaceable? Yes, but that's still depth that you're losing on this offensive line. That's a big contract. But the 49ers did sign a player. Actually, two. Let's talk about who the 49ers signed. They signed running back Patrick Taylor Jr. to a 1-year extension. I mean, whatever. You need a depth piece. You need a third-string running back. Again, you have Garendo, CMC, and now Patrick Taylor. It doesn't really move the needle, but you need a depth. That tells me that Jordan Mason, chances of him coming back are probably lowering, right? Because now you can go draft some running backs, undrafted, save some money in that aspect. And then the 49ers, their big acquisition of the day. Here we go. Their big move was signing tight end Luke Farrell from the Jacksonville Jaguars. His 3-year contract worth up to $20.250 million with $11 million guaranteed. He's a blocking tight end. He's Charlie Warner's replacement. That's what he is. They didn't replace Charlie Warner. They needed a blocking tight end. Now, it's not a horrible move. They needed a blocking tight end. This wasn't the move they needed to make today. They could have got this guy down the line, I feel. $20 million for a blocking tight end. I know Niner fans were pretty sick on this one. I don't know. Maybe he'll be a good, decent player, but just go get an offensive lineman. You spend $20 million on a tight end that's probably going to block when you could have just got a good lineman. I don't know. That's the way I look at it. Again, people are going to say he's a gritty blocker. This move didn't move the needle for me. I mean, you want to win a Super Bowl. I don't know. This move doesn't do much for me. I know you need blockers, but this was a bad move for me. That's it. I know he's going to help George Kittle. They say that every year. They got Charlie Warner. He's going to help George Kittle. It's not going to help him that much. Maybe. They're supposed to have Kyle Juszczyk. He's like the big blocking fullback. I mean, it's kind of weird, man. You're just going to rely on a tight end to block when you can go sign offensive linemen. I know the Niners, that's their thing. You go get blocking tight ends, but I don't know. Is he that big of a difference maker? Who knows? He really had a good PFF run game last year, or run blocking grade. He was the number 2 grade pass blocking tight end in 2024 with 49 pass blocking reps. So he's like an extra lineman, just like George Kittle. So yeah, maybe he's going to help in that aspect, but you expect a tight end to be your big pass protector. That's a flawed reality. I don't know. I wasn't too thrilled about this one because the Niners, they need to make some different. They need an O-line, D-line, especially D-line. To me, the Niners need to be all in on D-line. And maybe they're still, I mean, obviously it's Monday. They got a few more days. They got a long time to make moves. But right now, you look at that defensive line, and it's razor thin. It's very thin. And you sign a guy like this tight end, you think about it and say, was he really needed today? I think they could have got him yesterday or tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. Who knows? Maybe he had a big competition board. But the 49ers, they saw him. We got to get him today. I think they need defensive linemen, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe they will have some guys. We'll see. Maybe they're still working on moves for contracts for defensive linemen. Obviously, it should be. It's free agency season. But I don't know. This move did not move the needle for me. I was like, oh, wow, okay. You got a tight end? And I know we've needed a backup tight end. We've needed a tight end for George Kittle for a long time. Kind of need a receiving tight end, don't you think? None of the receiving tight ends we have on our team could catch. You got bricks for hands, right? They've been drafting tight ends and drafting tight ends and drafting tight ends. If you think Luke Farrell is the heir apparent to George Kittle, well, I got something to tell you. It's not the case. So he's not the guy that's going to take over George Kittle in 2 years or 3 years, whenever he's done playing. We'll see how it goes, though. We'll see how it goes. Let's move on. 49ers also lost their backup quarterback, one of their backup quarterbacks, Josh Dobbs. He's got a 2-year deal with the Patriots, according to Adam Schefter. Good for Dobbs. He made it clear he wants to play on a team that he might have an opportunity to play backup, at least be QB2. He didn't even get that with the 49ers. They had Brandon Allen as QB2, and he was terrible. He was terrible. I think they should have played Josh Dobbs in that Green Bay game. He probably would have won that game or had a better chance. But I feel like Josh Dobbs wasn't too thrilled with his time with the Niners, and he's moved on, and he's going to be backing up Drake May. So good for him. Good for Josh Dobbs. He's been all around the league. He's been all over the place. He's a journeyman, but not bad quarterback. He just needs opportunity, and maybe the Patriots is a better opportunity for him. And then another big move was the 49ers lost Mooney Ward. But I mean, this was expected. We knew Mooney Ward was going to leave. The writing was on the wall. He basically said it a few months ago, right, in his exit interview. That, he's got PTSD. He doesn't want to come back to the Bay. But he got paid. He got paid really good. Obviously, he was looking to get a big contract extension. This is his third extension in his career, or his third contract in his career. He was looking for that big contract extension. The 49ers weren't going to be able to give him. So Mooney Ward goes to the Colts. He got a 3-year deal worth $60 million. 3 years, $60 million. It's $35 million guaranteed, and then $20 million due. A $20 million signing bonus with the Colts. That's crazy. So he's going to go there, sign his contract, boom, $20 deposited, $35 million guaranteed, and it's a 3-year deal worth up to $60 million. That's a great deal for Mooney Ward. I'm going to miss the guy. Great guy. Love the guy. Nothing but love. He's going all the way to New England. That's way far from the Bay. He's trying to get away way away from the Bay, man. It's about as far as you can go. East Coast. He's on the West Coast, going all the way to the East Coast. Because, out West gives him a lot of bad memories. So shout out to Mooney, man. Love the guy. And nothing but love for the guy. He was amazing, man. He was definitely worth the money we gave him a few years back. I'm always going to remember him. It's a really positive player. And, he was cool, super cool behind the scenes when you talk to him. And he's just a good guy, good energy. So shout out to Mooney. Going to miss the guy. And, so those were the big moves. Let's talk about a couple of things here. So the 49ers, they lost a lot of players, but they maxed out in the compensatory picks for 2026. They got 4. They've been rewarded with 4 compensatory picks for 2026. And there's some people out there that are like, oh, my God, they got all these comp picks. Great. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yes, it's great that you got comp picks, but we need picks now. I know the 49ers are playing the long game. They're trying to get younger. They're trying to get draft picks. But, so you get a 4th-round pick for Ward, a 4th-round pick for Banks, a 4th or a 5th for Hufanga, and a 5th. You get a 4th and a 5th for Hufanga. So that's what you get for these players. Now, at the end of the day, it's nice that they got extra picks, and the 49ers are trying to be strategic. But are these draft picks going to help us right away? No, but it's for the future. So I see the 49ers strategy is okay, we can't keep all these players, but we have to at least get something in return. So the 49ers turned these players into value. They got compensation from draft compensation for 2026. So it's a good parting gift. It's nice, but I'm not going to sit here and applaud the team for just banking on draft comp picks. Okay, that's cool, but at the end of the day, I want more than comp picks. Is comp picks going to win you a Super Bowl right now? No. And those picks are going to take 2 to 3 years to develop and hit their peak. So who knows? At that time, when one of those players gets picked, George Kittle may not be on the roster. Fred Warner might be washed at that point, or Nick Bosa might be a shell of himself. I'm not saying they will, but you never know what's going to happen. Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams, are they going to be on the team anymore after these draft picks materialize? You draft them in 2026. Maybe they get a little bit of playing time. 2027, they start playing a little bit more. Maybe by 2028, they're starters. The team's going to look a lot different. So, yes, it's nice that they racked up comp picks, but I'm not going to sit there and, oh, my God, oh, man, they got all these comp picks. And what a team, what a strategy. Because comp picks aren't beating the Eagles. Comp picks aren't beating the Commanders. Comp picks aren't beating the Lions right now. You know what I mean? So that's the way I look at it. It's nice that they got compensation, but those comp picks are not going to help immediately to beat the teams that we need to beat to get to the Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying. So, big day, busy day. Oh, my God, it's been a busy day. But that's it. That's pretty much it. Take a look at some of these comments, some of these questions. Lily says, what's up with Greenlaw? He's got a lot of attention around the league. As we stated earlier, the Texans, the Falcons, the Broncos, the Cowboys, the Titans, all have interest in Dre Greenlaw. There is a story I missed that we got to talk about. But Dre Greenlaw is getting a lot of attention around the league. Again, he's testing the market. He's looking to see what teams are going to pay him. And if that value is not right, he'll come to the Niners. That's pretty much how it's going to go. He's going to say, hey, Cowboys, how much are you going to pay me? Okay. Hey, Texans, how much are you going to pay me? Oh, okay. And then he's going to see the Niners, they gave him, this is what the Niners gave him, whatever they gave him. He's going to look at that, compare it. Oh, the Cowboys are offering that. Man, that's not better. Texans, no, that's not better. Oh, Titans. Oh, Titans deal. That's better. Okay. So that's what he's going to do. He's testing out the market, seeing what his value is, and going from there. So we'll see. How do we think we have guys like Kittle, Hufanga, Lenore, 3rd and 5th round picks? Yeah, that's true. But not everybody's a Kittle. Not everybody's a Hufanga. Not everybody's a Pooney. Not everybody's a Lenore. But it takes time for them to materialize. You can't just sit here and say that, oh, we're going to draft every 5th round pick and they're going to be amazing. Every 3rd round pick is going to be amazing, because for every Kittle, for every Lenore, for every Pooney, there's an Ambry Thomas. There's a Jake Moody. There's a Jalen Hurd. You can sit here and play the same game on the other side of the coin. That, yes, the 49ers have had some really good success with late round picks. What I'm saying is you can't just always bank on draft picks because, oh, yeah, Niners always draft good draft picks. They don't always draft good draft picks. If you think about it, the last few years before last year really set the Niners back. If you look at the draft classes, there's been a few players here and there, but they've had some historically bad draft classes. You got to be honest with yourself, right? Especially in the first round. Trey Lance, that pick set this team back light years. That was horrible. I mean, that was terrible. There was Drake Jackson. That was a miss. He might not even play this year. Drake Jackson's knees cooked. So yes, they've done good on some draft picks. Last year was exceptional, but there's also a lot of picks that were just dog shit. Javon Kinlaw, Solomon Thomas. Not saying that every pick's going to be great, but if you're just banking on comp picks, you have to make them count. You have to hit. You have to hit on those draft picks. And if you don't, and you're not signing players, and you have a lot of cap space, and now you're paying a quarterback, it's a slippery slope. So I believe in the 49ers young players, but they need to get depth and players that can step in and come in and make some damn plays and be a difference maker. Because a rookie, you can't expect every rookie to be an impact rookie. It'd be nice. I mean, we love our players. We're homers, but you can't expect every single draft pick to come in right away. Sometimes it takes them a few years. Look, Deommodore Lenoir. First year, up and down roller coaster. Second year, people thought he was going to be cut. And now, flash forward, year 5, CB1. It took him some time to get there. AJ says, Kinlaw got banked from the Commanders. Dude, what film were they looking? Javon Kinlaw got paid. Happy for him. He got paid, $45 million, 3 years? Woo, for Javon Kinlaw? Good for him. Good for him. Good for him. I love that for him. I love that for him. Let's go back. There was a developing story from Jacina Anderson. Who knows if this materializes to anything, but the 49ers reportedly have had conversations with Jameis Winston to be their backup quarterback. Jameis Winston. There you go. MSQ says, are you upset because the guys we fell in love with are gone? Oh, no, I'm not even upset. Honestly, it is what it is. I'm just, I guess I wouldn't say I'm upset, but I expect the 49ers to do a little bit more in this free agency. I'm just upset because they spent $20 million on a blocking tight end. $20 million on a blocking tight end? Come on. And people are going to sit here and say, that was a brilliant move. Patrick Taylor's a brilliant move. I'm just trying to keep it real with you that 49ers have not gotten better right now. Maybe by the end of this free agency, they will. And I know you got to be a little patient, but as of right now, the 49ers have done nothing to improve their team. They've lost several players. Now, will they replace them? I'm sure they will. Right? Josh Dobbs, they lost him. They could get Jameis Winston. That's the guy that is being rumored to be their backup quarterback that they're looking at. Right? Now, let's look at the players they lost. Aaron Banks, Travarius Ward, Talanoa Hufanga, Jalen Moore, Josh Dobbs, Elijah Mitchell. You lose some pretty decent players. They might lose Dre Greenlaw. Who did you bring in? Who did you bring in? Luke Farrell and Patrick Taylor. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's not like the 49ers are doing amazing things right now. They've lost a lot of players. They're a 6-win team. They have a lot of holes. We can't sit here and say, oh, they got an easy schedule next year. Got to keep it real with yourself a little bit. I'm not saying that they're not going to improve this offseason. I'm sure they're going to knock the draft out of the park. I'm sure they're going to sign a few more players. But as of right now, they have not improved this team, to me, in my opinion. They've done some good job coaching staff. You need to add some players. So the Niners spent $6 to $7 million a year on a depth piece to help Kittle. Okay, yeah, they've been drafting tight ends for years. If that's the case, you should have kept Charlie Warner last year. You should have kept Charlie Warner. They always get rid of players and they try to replace them. They lost DJ Jones a few years ago because they couldn't pay him. They brought in Hargrave. Didn't pan out. I'm just saying the 49ers have had some bad decisions over the years. Well, can this tight end work out? He could. We'll see. But they paid him $20 million to block. I'm saying. We'll see. We'll see. Who won the bet from me and Smitty? I won the bet from me and Smitty. Let's see. Throwback says former Broncos running back Javonte Williams is signing a 1-year, $3 million deal with the Cowboys. Max 3.5 with incentives per Tom Pelissero. Good for him. Julia says Charlie Warner wanted to go home to Atlanta. I don't think he wanted to stay. Yeah, I mean, he wanted to go back. He's a Georgia boy. Makes sense. But they've been trying to replace Charlie Warner. Like I'm just trying to say their big concern so far is replacing Charlie Warner. They've got bigger fish to fry on this team. I'm telling you, defensive line. Look at that defensive line depth right now. They were getting rid of Hargrave. They're getting rid of Malik Collins. You got 3 linemen. You got Evans. You got Jordan Elliott and Khalil Davis. That's your D line. Khalil Davis. That's your D line depth right now. I'd be a little bit more concerned about a D line than a backup tight end. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying I know the tight end could be good. He could help George Kittle, but I'd be a little bit more worried for the D line than I am of the tight end. And I get it. It's Monday. By the end of the week, we might be singing a whole different song and say, "Oh man, great defensive side, great defensive line side." Maybe they're taking their time. But right now, the way it looks, I'm just saying, just right now on day one, they have not improved their team. And they got some big time glaring holes that they have to address. That's all I'm saying. Give the Niners 3 to 5 days. I'm literally telling you. It's Monday and I get it. But as of right now, people want to know my thoughts. Are we winning? Are we improving? We're not improving right now. But give them till Friday. Or give him a few weeks. From what I understand, John Lynch forgot to set his clock for daylight savings time. That's what I heard. My man Julius says you need to hear one positive sentence about today. Okay. You want positivity? Let's take a look at some positives. The Seattle Seahawks have signed Sam Darnold as their quarterback. He gets a 3-year deal worth $100 million. Sam Darnold is QB1 of the Seattle Seahawks, and I cannot wait to play Sam Darnold twice a year. Now that, woo! That should make you smile. The 49ers could be able to beat the Seahawks with Sam Darnold. Jimmy Garoppolo signed as the backup quarterback for the Rams. He's reunited with Devontae Adams. Can you imagine if Matt Stafford has to miss a game because of injury, which is very likely, and he has to have Jimmy Garoppolo QB him, play QB for a game or two? Devontae Adams is absolutely going to crash out. He's going to crash out. Blooming says, bro just beat us last year, Sam Darnold. He did. It was a different team. Minnesota's Vikings defense was incredible. Hey, Peter Parker says, the positive for today is most of us are off work and we're all here together with Roger. There you go. That's a positive. There you go. The Rams sacked Sam Darnold 11 times. There you go. I'm just trying to keep it real, man. I'm just saying. Are you happy that we signed a tight end? What do you guys give the grade of Luke Farrell? You guys acting like it's the greatest move in the world. It's because the Niners did it. It's okay to be a little objective. What do you guys think? Drop your grade. Drop your thoughts. An F, says Terrace. A D minus, says AJ BB. There you go. It's not my grade. If I'm keeping it real, you gave him a C. You get mad at me. If you're keeping it real, what free agent would you want the 49ers to target? I mean, I wanted them to get a good edge rusher. You know, Azeez Ojulari would be fantastic, but he's probably too expensive. I wouldn't hate Jonathan Allen. I think that's a guy that we've been looking at. Dahlman, the center that signed with the Bears, I think that's a guy I was really hoping the 49ers could get, but they didn't have the money to get him. So, yeah, those are some of the guys I really was looking at. But I didn't think the Niners were going to be able to spend a lot of money. So I honestly didn't expect them to sign many people. So, again, I'm not mad. I knew it wasn't going to happen. But just when you see it and you're like, oh, my God, they're losing this guy, they're losing this guy. Who are they going to bring in? I hope we can find some answers because the Niners do this a lot where they lose all these players, we crash out, and then, boom, they make some signings at the middle of the night. But we'll see. It's only Monday. Hopefully they give us some signings. You know, it's not over. It's still early on Monday, 4:20. Now, they might have some money to spend tomorrow, right? They might have some money to spend tomorrow. They might have some money to spend on Wednesday. Maybe they're waiting. Maybe they're waiting to get the certain guys they want because there's going to be a lot of free agents. Maybe they're plotting. So we'll see. California man says F for the tight end signing. Blooming Cash to see because we avoided paying Banks and more. Yeah, the Banks got paid a lot more money than I would have paid him. So shout out to, I mean, those guys got paid a lot. Jalen Moore, honestly, I would have kept him, but I don't know if I would have paid him that much money. He's got $30 million. So I'm happy for Jalen Moore. He's going to become a starter. That's good for him. That's great. I'm happy for the guy. I'm happy for the guy. Starting money, and he doesn't have to play backup. Like his decision was very simple. You either play backup and you have to sit a whole year again, at least one more year, because Trent Williams is going to be your starting left tackle, or you go to the Chiefs. You're going to start and you're getting $30 million. That's the easiest decision I would ever make in my life if I'm in. Smart move by him. Clinton says, I seen this coming, no surprise. Yeah. Greenlaw and Joey. Stephanie says, I'm not impressed with what they've done so far. We'll see what happens. I don't think anybody's impressed. If you're impressed by a blocking tight end, you got low expectations, low standards. Blooming says, Mahomes does make his tackles work a bit. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of work for Jalen Moore. This is a big test for him. I think it's a good for him, though. I'm happy for Jalen Moore. My thoughts on DK and GP on the same team. Oh, my God. Now, I don't know if GP stays. I've heard they're going to trade Pickens, whatever, but I don't think they will. I think if you have GP, Pickens, and DK on the same team, I mean, I know everybody's saying it. It's like team crash out. They're going to crash out, but the tempers, the anger is going to be at an all-time high. The emotions, when they get pissed off, they're going to wear their emotions on their sleeve. I think that's a good duo, but it's a little hot-headed. It's a little volatile. Oh, it's going to be fun, though. MSQ. I'll say this. It wasn't a bad signing, but this wasn't the best first signing. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the way you look at it. It wasn't the best first signing. It's not a bad signing. I'm not hating on it. But I think because that was the first signing of the day and the Niners losing play, it like set the tone. And I think that's why fans are like, oh shit, we're losing him, we're losing him, we're losing him, we're losing him, we're losing him. We signed who? Who? I think that's what happened with the fan base. It's like it set the tone because it's like, okay, how are we going to replace this guy? How are we going to replace this guy? How are we going to replace it? And I think that's the theme of today. But again, it's Monday. I'm sure they'll have a plan. Now, if they don't have a plan and we're sitting here on Friday and we're having the same conversation, then we're cooked, chat. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think John Lynch just woke up late because it's daylight savings time. He'll get everything adjusted and cook with hot grease. Because right today, he was cooking with the stove off. But let me tell you, Adam Peters, he was cooking with hot fire today. That man, whoo, Washington. But you know, the luxury Washington has, they have a quarterback on a rookie contract. 49ers don't have that luxury anymore. Washington Commanders can load up because they have a rookie quarterback contract. And that's what you do. That's why a lot of these teams want a rookie quarterback, because you can load up on talent and just build a team. Miguel says, any news on Joey Bosa? Nothing new. Throwback says, Dre Greenlaw, my concern with him is availability. I think that's what most people's concern is. How good will he be coming off that injury? Do you take the risk? It's the big question. MS says, I think about we're a day 2 and day 3 team. We typically are. We're late bloomers. I think you're right. I think tomorrow will be a bigger day for the 49ers. So I think you're right. We'll see. I just know they were popping champagne. They beat out all the competition and got their guy on Luke. You know, Kyle was, we got Luke. You think he was hyped up? Luke Farrell, bro. John, we got Luke Farrell. He's gritty. I like it. It's a good move. Oh, man. We'll see. We'll be back a little later. We'll see if there's any more news later today. I'll probably hop live on Instagram later today, and we'll talk some more. But take a little rest right now. News is dying down. I need a little rest. So you guys have a good rest of your day. Go Niners. We'll see if anything else happens.